I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's Emmy Award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I'm joined by my gaggle of gals. We have the quality-looking ray of sunshine herself.
Hey everyone, Tami Goveia.
And of course, we have
Hey everyone, Chelsie Overocker.
who is celebrating a birthday today, and
Happy birthday!
I didn't have time to make the cake, but happy birthday, Chelsie Overocker.
Aww.
Thank you. I will be looking at that, enjoying it virtually.
Yes.
Yes.
I will eat it for you. I will eat it for you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really quick, I just want to say that we recognize that there's a lot happening in our country right now. What we like to do is just to provide an escape for you all just for a second. We love the fact that we can all come together during this show, no matter what race, sexual orientation, anything that you are, but we can all come together to talk about this fictitious town called Salem and enjoy one another for the next 2 hours. So we send all of our thoughts and all of our prayers to those who have been affected, and we thank those who continue to stand up for us. But for the next 2 hours, it's us talking about Salem, and we hope that you guys enjoy that. So just wanted to put that out there in case anyone comes in and they're like, don't they realize what's going on? We do, but we just want y'all to escape for a second. If you're watching us live, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching us later, we greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button before Ryan comes in and gets you, and also leave a comment. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are DISHIN Days on Facebook and Instagram, and _DISHIN Days onto Twitter. The @ is in quarantine. And as of right now, we're the only soap on the block. So make sure you tune into us every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for your dose of all the newest episodes of Days of Our Lives. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, hello, podcast listeners. Make sure you like us, give us 5 stars, and leave a comment on how much you like it and love it and want what? More of it. All right. So let's get into Days. What did we think about this? Oh, also, y'all left y'all's cup at the studio. Y'all didn't get it before you locked it up, but I still have mine.
Oh my gosh.
So if you guys want your own custom DISHIN Days mug, we can tell you how to get those from Sweet Customs. Go check out our social media. We'll post all the links there. All right, now, so much happening. What did you guys think of this week's episodes?
A lot happened in Salem too. It went from bombs to engagements all in 1 week. But hey, I was here for it. Overall, I thought it was a great week. We're moving the storyline along.
Yeah, agreed. Tami?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good week. The pacing was a lot faster this week, so I appreciated that. I love Chelsea's analogy, bombs and engagements. That's what happened. So it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, from what I can remember, this week was good. So I tried something new this week. I watched all the episodes early. So Friday, I was actually done. And so as we sat here, I was like, wait, what happened this week? But now it's now it's like Celine Dion. It's all coming back to me now. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, Michael Mattis is in Ohio right now. So shout out to our lumberjack himself, Michael Mattis, who is tending to some things over in Ohio. We wish him well and can't wait for him to come back so he can dish with us, which means that there will be no caption there until he comes back, because that's his segment and I ain't trying to touch it, and anyone else. All right, so let's go ahead and break it on down. It's now time to start DISHIN Days. Oh, look at that.
Yay!
Set it and forget it. All right, so let's now talk about the first storyline, which is Orpheus, John, Marlena, Steve, Hope, Rafe, everyone. Um,
Everybody.
so they captured Orpheus and little wait, there was okay. There's all this drama that happened with like Zoe and Rafe and Hope and like all of that.
Yep.
I so when they were in the layer, I always call it a layer if it's like some random place. Um, I always get nervous when like um the gun tussling starts because you just
Mhm.
know someone is about to get shot. And when it went off and Rafe got shot, I was like, oh Lord, what is going on? And there was such a like I felt so down because I was kind of rooting. I think we all were rooting for Zoe and Rafe. And when she like flipped the script and was like, Orpheus has my son, and I was like, where your son
What?
been this whole time?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like
Mhm.
he's in jail and can't pay the people, so I have to go get my son. And like it was just like there's a lot happening
That
in that.
actually confused me when she said
Yeah.
my son. I'm thinking, wait a minute, is David her son? Like, wait,
Oh
I'm
my,
confused.
Yeah, yeah,
Did you think
I
same
that
here.
too?
I
Yeah,
thought the same thing.
yeah, it totally threw me off. But
Okay.
I was I seriously almost tweeted, can somebody please tell us who are David's parents? Because we knew it was Jordan, but then we didn't know the daddy. Then we found out who the daddy was. But then Zoe was like, my son, and we were like, wait, but then it's a whole separate son. So now we're okay.
Yeah.
But um I keep feeling like Hope still like has something for Rafe. And I don't know
mhm.
if I'm the only one picking up on that. But like
No.
Yeah,
I'm a,
there's these little weird moments.
yeah,
So I'm not the only one that saw them. You guys saw it
yeah.
too.
Oh
Yes, we
yeah,
Okay.
did.
for sure.
Okay.
I'm kind of like been there, done that. Like I'm not here to see them back together. Sorry.
Agreed.
No, I'm not either. I like them better as friends and as partners, work partners, but not in a relationship.
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed like a long time ago.
Long time
Mhm.
ago.
So
Yeah.
we're okay with that. But now that Orpheus is in jail, oh, by the way, it's like, John, how many times have you been kidnapped? And now this is probably the first with a little kid. But poor little David, I was like, who will put a child through all of that? Like, he's like, let's play a game and untie me so that we can go to grandpa. And I'm
That's
like,
just sick.
but I'm also like,
Yeah.
he ain't doing it fast enough. You know, Orpheus coming back.
I know.
Uh,
And
yeah,
going
now
back to
they
what you're I was
Hmm.
gonna say, going back to what you were saying about the gun flailing, I thought, really, how many times have we seen this scenario? Like, come on. But I did appreciate the little surprise where the bullet actually hit Rafe's badge. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay,
me too.
all
It's
right.
like,
Me
because
too.
Lord knows we don't need another that. Oh, also, Hope let Zoe go.
What did you think
Yeah.
about that?
Um, I was
I,
thinking as a mother, she understood.
same. That's what I was gonna say. I think when Zoe brought in, what happened if this was Sierra? What would you
Hmm.
do? Hope said, yeah, I had to let her go. If this was my daughter, I'd be in the same position.
But do you also think that Hope was kind of like, get out of here so that way you can stop making googly eyes at Rafe?
I I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I got the mom thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the mom thing for sure.
yeah.
But I was surprised by Rafe's reaction. Like when he said, "Where's Zoe?" and she said, "I let her go." He was like, "Okay."
I think for a second he kind of understood because now that he's a parent,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the love of a child and the safety of a child is more important. And I think it's also that thing of like she wasn't really trying to harm them. She was literally like, you guys are in my way. I have to go get my son. My dad is now in jail, and he has my son. Move
Mhm.
out of my way. I got.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And I think her talking to Rafe saying, I want my father to be put behind bars, because I came to you and I spilled everything and I didn't have to do that. So
Yeah.
on some level, I think Rafe still appreciates that.
Yeah. Now back to Orpheus being in jail and hinting that he had one last thing, one last game to play. I was like, so no one's gonna drop anything. No one like decided like, oh, I need to maybe do a sweep of the house to make sure that I don't know, there's like nothing there. It wasn't until it looks like I think it was Rafe and Hope talked that, or no, Hope and John. No, Hope and Rafe.
Hope and Rafe, yeah.
When Rafe talked that they started looking for something and then found the bomb after like everybody and their mama ends up at Marlena's house. It was Hope, Rafe, Eric, Nicole, John, Marlena, and found the bomb. Obviously, that bomb was set at like 40 minutes when we were introduced to it. It didn't leave the house till 1 minute left.
Of course.
What did y'all think about Hope grabbing the
Oh.
bomb and like running with it?
That-
Like where did she put it?
I know, she just like boom, just took off running. Everyone's chasing her. I'm like, oh gosh.
She knows where all the dumpsters are in,
Yeah.
in everybody's apartment complex. Like she knows where the dumpsters are. I felt like she has something to prove. Like she
Yeah.
feels so guilty about everything that's
Mhm.
happened that
Mhm.
she's got something to prove. So this was one of her moments of, let me show everybody how sorry I am.
And didn't you love that moment with Marlena saying, you saved our lives, thank you? In a way, I felt that was her saying, I'm willing to put all of the bad stuff that happened the past year behind us. Let's move forward.
But there was something strange about how Hope was acting afterwards. Like I was like, she doesn't seem right, and I can't tell if like there's a ringing still in her ear or if she's shocked that she did that. If there's a general adrenaline rush, I don't know. But something seemed a little off for 2 seconds about her. That's just
No,
me.
I totally agree. Steve seems like Steve now because he was like a
Yeah,
little off before,
yeah,
but Hope still, she's like got this blank look in her. Yeah, it's weird.
No, there are a couple of times ever since they claimed that Hope is back that I still question, is this really Hope?
right.
I'm waiting for her to slip back into the accent. Like I'm
Yeah.
totally waiting for that.
And everybody, someone pointed out, everyone, Marlena casually walking out, and then and everyone running after Hope with the bomb. I would have been like looking out the window, like, good luck, good luck. You got a minute. But yeah, that was interesting. I'm wondering if that's a little egg that we're supposed to pick up later.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. So that was pretty much that with that. Then we had Kayla, Justin, and Steve.
Mhm.
Yep.
That whole tug of war and like I don't know. I'm kind of glad it played out the way that it did because I know that Justin has every right to be upset with Orpheus about killing Adrian, but I was just
Totally.
like, thank God he didn't come in there and like decide to shoot Orpheus because it's like you're only putting yourself more in trouble. Like, why would you do that?
I know. I'm
And then-
so glad Patch came in when he did. And
Yeah.
Kayla.
And then kind of like, somehow Justin convincing like for Steve to kill him instead, but Steve didn't do it. And
What?
Steve's like, I did it for Kayla. And I'm just like, you being real sneaky, Steve. Talking about you did it for Kayla. I don't know about that. I mean, I see it, but I'm just like, because like that little moment that they had together where like they looked over at each other, and it was kind of like it's almost like her eyes were saying, help me. And he was like, got you. And, he just decided not to kill, which I'm glad that happened. But then all of a sudden the proposal of from Justin to Kayla.
I did like Justin visiting Adrian's grave, and then
Yeah,
Sunny
me
coming
too.
in as like the sign, because it all happened so fast. Like you could see Justin making the decision in his head that he was going to
Mhm.
ask Kayla to marry him. I'm like,
Mhm.
whoa, wait, what are you doing? Kind of like how Kayla looked when she asked him. Like, whoa, wait, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
Yeah, it was just kind of like the domino effect this week with the engagement. And then finally, Justin saying, well, these people are getting engaged because they want to commit, they love each other. I feel
yep,
like I need to do the same. And I want to show Kayla how much I truly love her because we've been through so much. But I do love how he had that talk. I was going to say Freddie, not Freddie,
no,
Sunny, how he had that talk with Sunny first before he went and asked Kayla.
mm.
yeah,
Yeah. And how that all I think Sonny was even like kind of shocked at like um Justin asking uh, like if it's okay for him to marry Kayla. And in my head I'm like, but it's only been a year since Adrian died. It's only been like
yeah,
6 or 7 months since you guys have been together. Like I know that like when you, and this is no shade, but like when you get older, you kind of don't have time for like the the courtship of it all. It's like you
Mhm.
know already if this is going to work or not. So I get maybe that aspect of it, but I'm still thinking like it's too soon.
I totally agree, and I think Justin was coming off what had happened with Orpheus. Like
Hmm.
his emotions were all over the place, and because otherwise it didn't make sense. Like I don't think he would
Yeah.
have proposed to her if that whole thing with Orpheus hadn't gone down.
I guess it made him realize something, but I I don't know. I mean, you know me, I'm still Justin and Kayla.
Yeah.
I know that's the unpopular opinion, but like I like them together.
I like Justin and Kayla, but with the engagement, still, they're not, I don't feel like they're quite there yet. Especially with last week, Kayla saying that Patch is my one. And I
But
love him.
just like Justin says, Adrian is his one.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but I still feel like with Kayla and Patch, because Patch is in Salem, there's still feelings there now. Say that Adrian was back in Salem and she wasn't dead. I feel like Justin would still be having the feelings that Kayla's having towards Patch as well.
Probably. But also the conversation that he had with her at the grave where he was like, you told me that it's okay to remarry as long as she wasn't younger than you and a redhead.
Yeah,
Those were the two stipulations that they had. So I guess we'll see.
we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. But regardless of what Kayla says, yes or no, Patch isn't going to give up without a fight. He's now determined. I just wish he had that a couple weeks ago, but
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like finally, like
yeah.
yeah, I was like finally, and so
Yeah.
now it's not going to take long for Kayla to come around.
Yeah. And now that brings the total up to how many engaged couples do we have? Eric and Nicole, uh,
Yeah.
Ben and Sierra,
Huh.
Kayla and Justin. Am I missing someone else? That's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm like, goodness gracious, there's a lot of engagements happening in Salem. You all know, like, this is the setup. Like, y'all know them weddings are going to be a mess.
I
Oh,
know.
and Lonnie and Eli, four. Lonnie and
Yeah,
Eli.
okay, yes, they made me smile so much this week. My heart was breaking for Lonnie, but
Totally. Oh my
uh,
God.
like
I totally got it.
she wants to be happy, but she's so scared, and I get it. I get
Terrified.
it.
I would be terrified if I were
I
her. Like, are you
oh,
kidding me?
she finally just was able to move on and put herself in a good place after losing her baby, after everything that's happened with Gabby, Eli, and for this, I feel for her.
Well, do you
Yeah.
think that? Well, now that we'll briefly talk about Lonnie and Eli, do you think that it's? I feel like she's more worried than like you know what I mean because with the loss of David, it's almost like as a mother, she doesn't want to really go through that again. So it's hard to get to be happy about being pregnant
Mhm.
when like, you know, you've already been pregnant and lost a child. So I think there's more worry there than anything.
Totally. And I
Mhm.
felt so bad kind of for Eli because he was so clueless.
Yes, he was. I think until
It's like,
finally was Lonnie running out of the hospital where he said, "Okay, I need to step back. That something's
yeah.
not right." But yeah, there
Yeah.
was so many clues. I was like, Eli, just get it. So finally he did. But I can't wait till next week when they have that conversation.
Yeah.
the the whole thing of like, I don't even know what made her look at her calendar in Horton Town Square, but she was like, I'm late. And Eli's like,
Oh,
late for
because
late for
For the
what?
they
date.
were gonna they were doing a date. Yeah, they were looking at a
Yeah,
Right.
date.
for the
That's right.
engagement.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
That's what it is.
"Oh gosh, I'm late." Eli,
And
late for what?
you have an appointment? Like, are you
So
supposed
you
to be
got somewhere to
somewhere?
go?
What? Good.
And she's like, no, I'm late. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, Eli is thrilled, you know, about
Hmm.
having a baby.
Which is
But I think,
cute.
yeah, but I think
Yeah,
Lonnie
I like
is
seeing
super
that.
worried. Yeah, Lonnie's worried, and rightfully so.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, all right. Well, speaking of other engaged couples, we have Eric, Nicole, and then of course with their storyline, we have Brady, Sarah, and Xander and Victor. Um,
Mhm.
so first off, yay! Congratulations to Brady and I'm sorry, Eric and Nicole for getting engaged.
Yeah.
Um, I thought it was very interesting the conversation that they were having with Marlena and Will about everyone having an issue with telling Sammy. And just when you thought that Sammy was just gonna like take it in and be okay, she texts Eric to be like, well, I thought it, well, first of all, no one wanting to do it is very telling of like no one wants to talk to Sammy. Like no one has time for that because we all know she goes from 0 to 100. And then when Nicole was just like, fine, whatever, I'll tell her. And she was all congratulatory and she was like, oh my God, like I wasn't expecting that. 2 seconds later, toot, toot. Oh, so you're gonna marry that bitch? And it's like, it's the classic do 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 do. So
That was
Waiting for that
awesome.
text. I was
Yeah.
waiting for some comeback. I was like, that's not easy for Sam to be like, congratulations, I'm so happy for you.
I actually
No.
I actually got fooled. I actually thought Sammy had turned over a new leaf. I was with everyone. I was with Will when Will was like, you know, maybe like, you know, having EJ back and everything. Like maybe she's different.
I had the same reaction Nicole had. I was just, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Really?
me too.
5
But
seconds later. No.
That was awesome. I love
well,
that. Love that.
somebody else who wasn't having it was Kate. Kate was not having
Oh.
just like Kate just doesn't want Nicole with anybody. She's like, ugh, that bitch. I'm like, Kate, like you y'all can't hate people forever now. Y'all are like one and the
Yes, you
same.
can.
Well,
It's
clearly,
Kate. But then I like how Nicole comes back and she tells Abe, oh, Kate's working with you? That's a mistake.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think everyone is shocked that Kate is working with Abe, but I don't seem to mind it.
No, I
No.
like it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But you could tell she's a very powerful woman because she even after Abe was like, listen, I don't need you speaking about personal affairs and you know just maybe kind of keep your opinions to yourself. She still was like, I still ain't happy with it. Maybe he can marry you if his schedule is clear. I was like, oh,
That was cute.
I was like,
Yeah.
all right.
But
Um,
it was kind of funny when Abe was correcting Kate. You know, like you really need to keep like Abe. You know who you're talking to. This is it's gonna go in one ear and right out the other. She's
yeah,
gonna do
Hmm.
whatever she wants. She's Kate.
this is
Yeah.
true. Um, and then I my heart still hurts for Xander because now Brady is going along with
Oh my
um,
god.
what Sarah
Mm.
said and that they like slept together. And the fact that she was like, because Xander was like, I don't really believe this. And she's like, oh, really? And then started kissing Brady. And I was like,
Mm.
so we really going to go with this? But it just shows that she is still in love with Xander.
Totally.
Oh, yes.
Totally.
Because right
Mhm.
before Xander left, he said, I'm still going to fight for you. I'm still here for you. And when Sarah shut the door, she had to take a second for it to all sink in,
Yeah.
thinking, what am I doing?
Lindsay's so good because you could see those moments
You
of
pick
Mhm.
up
her,
on
like,
them.
of hurt. I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved
Well,
it.
especially when Xander was like, no matter what you do, I'm not gonna give up on you. And she was just like, and I think it hit her like, yeah, like he's not gonna give up that easily.
Which is how Steve should have been reacting 3 weeks ago or a month ago, or however long it's been.
Yes.
Oh, we
You
forgot to
know?
mention that. Well, Steve has gone back and kind of like, I'm gonna now fight for her. I'm like, girl, it's too late.
Yeah,
This
thank
was
you.
after this.
Yeah.
Well, this was after the. Was it? No, it was before the proposal.
Before the proposal. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
because
Yep.
those things were happening simultaneously.
Mhm.
Yep. Everything that Steve is doing now, he should have done 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I guess it's never too late for love in Salem.
No.
Or
No.
revenge, because Brady's plan, man. Oh my God.
I'm still waiting to see how this unfolds. Like, so he's already like on board with what Sarah said as far as like they slept together. He's already gotten Xander fired. I don't, I'm sorry. I still have a soft spot for Xander. I'm just like, you poor thing. Like they just keep like throwing you through the ringer, honey. And I'm so sorry.
And he still looks good.
Yes.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter
Well,
how many
even
ringers he gets run through.
Yeah.
well, even Sarah had a question Brady saying, "Okay, we're doing all this stuff to Xander, but how's this getting back at Victor too?" So she even had to catch him as well, saying we just can't all be against Xander.
Yeah. Um, what did y'all think about that confrontation between Victor and John in the hospital?
I
Man,
thought it was great. And it freaked me out when Victor's heart rate, you could hear the monitor
yes.
start to escalate. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what's going on? But no, I
Yeah.
love this. You don't see them often enough, those two.
Hmm.
John and Victor and Drake and
But
yeah.
yeah, but you could just tell when John is having Victor have it. He in Victor's face, you could tell it was leading up to him having his high pressure to go because his face was just boiling
Well,
and then for a second I was thinking, come on John, help Victor out, this isn't you. So I was glad that he did get help, but he was taking his time a little bit.
I think John, rightfully so, had to like lay into Victor because
Totally.
when he said, "You promised Isabella to like that you would like take care of Brady,"
Hmm.
and she would be ashamed at like what you were doing. I was like, "Ooh, you are just hitting him just 1-2 punch." So no wonder his heart rate went up. And John actually didn't even seem concerned because, well, first of all, when he called the nurses station and he was like, "Ugh, no one's there," he was in no rush to go find anybody. And then he found Kayla right as Steve was about to admit his feelings for Kayla, and no rush into the room. He's just like, "Vic's heart rate is up," and Kayla's like, "What?" And he's just like casually like, "I guess go see about it."
Yeah.
Hmm.
He kind of reminded me of Kristen. It's like, whatever happens to the old man happens to the old man.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
he was not feeling it
no.
at all. But I
I don't blame
mean,
him. Like you said, Tony, I don't blame him.
yeah, I mean, rightfully
Hmm.
so. I mean,
Yeah.
Victor really, never has Brady's best interest at heart and is doing a lot to Brady, and especially this
Never. It's
situation.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
And I
And
like how Victor saying, I got to be home. I got to be there for Maggie. Can't be in this hospital. Kayla's like, that's going to be a stressful situation. You don't realize you're walking into Maggie going to confront you with everything that you've done. It's not going to be a
Mhm.
good conversation.
Yeah. Mm.
He
Mm-mm-mm.
seems so frail.
Victor?
Victor, yeah. And I don't
Well,
know if that's like John Aniston playing Victor frail, or it's just like,
no. Well, I mean, listen. A lot has happened. He got shanked. He got
yeah.
found out.
Hmm.
Maggie is like, tried to, kill herself. So there's a lot happening. I think hopefully he's realizing some stuff, but it's Victor. Like we thought he turned over a new leaf when he got with Maggie, but apparently that leaf was a fake.
That was a plastic leaf.
Yeah, that was one of those home good leaves. Like, and no shade towards home goods before someone was
No
like,
shade.
don't be shady towards home goods. I mean, home goods is cute. I bought my table from there.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on to Gabby, Jake, Ben, and Sierra. I I'm I really like the Jake character. Like, I like how he is being played by Brandon. Like, I like this whole Midwestern kind of mysterious, like, isn't he finding out more information, like, guy. Yeah.
hmm No, I like Jake. I like it just reminds me the old Stefan and Gabby relationship in a way, with them fighting, going back and forth, and I feel like it's going to build into something.
Hmm.
But no, I do like the character Jake.
Yeah, and I like that he showed up at the police station and was talking to Gabby, and Gabby kind of told him like, I'm not this horrible girl that everyone like makes me out to be. And for some reason, I like it as much of a tough exterior that he has. I think internally he's really like kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together without telling everyone that he's putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
hmm
So as far as like, and when I say that, I mean like he's figuring out these people, whether he's Stefan or not. I mean, I still think he's Jake because I feel like his curiosity is only that he looks exactly like Stefan. So I think he's kind of curious as to like, why do I look like this guy?
hmm
Um, but I don't. Do y'all think he has doubt as to who he is?
I don't know. When he was talking with um, Ben a couple weeks ago, and he's
Mhm.
just really even questioning, gosh, who is this Stefan guy? Like you said, it's curiosity. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think this is Jake.
Oh, somebody need to check their house. That plane sounded like it was like about to come into your house.
I know. Well, it's kind of crazy outside, but yeah, they've been flying around.
Oh, okay. That's you,
All
Chelsea. I got
Yeah,
worried.
that's
I was
me.
like, girl, you might want to look outside just for a second to make sure that plane isn't coming in.
Yeah,
We have
no,
helicopters.
it's been helicopters flying around.
Oh, okay. Um, the I'm so tired of those two goons that keep coming in.
Mhm.
I'm like, if y'all don't come in with a photo or like with some more information, like y'all keep coming in like ready to bash someone's head in, and it's like, can y'all have the right information first before you
Yeah.
come in and want to like cause issues? And kudos to Sierra for running in and being like, I was like, oh, girl, like you coming in with a vengeance. Be careful. He got a I don't know what a
Wrench or
yeah. I was like, I don't know what that
Mhm.
thing is, but y'all be careful. But when she was like, he's the necktie killer, and he
I
like
was like,
he
what?
looked it up. Yeah, but Ben flipped the script real quick. He was like, I'll find you. I was like, oh,
What? I was
Oh,
surprised. Like, I was actually really surprised that she pulled that card
yeah.
because you
I
can't
think
pull that card very often. Like, seriously,
no.
that's not a good card to pull.
Yeah,
Well, I
well,
think
So,
he was even taken back too, because after the two goons left, she said, I'm sorry that I referred to the necktie killer, but I was lost. I didn't know what else to do. You just say,
mm,
no, it's okay. We're safe now. But I think the way I picked it up is he's like, I just don't want you to think I'm still that person.
yeah.
yeah.
So, what she doesn't. But I think just kind of the way with their interaction afterwards, he said, yep, it's fine. I understand you had to play that card. But
I just really
And
want to know what it is that Jake has
what's the
me
secret? Yeah, what's he
too.
hiding?
What is it?
because it's
But the
something.
goon's reaction to, like, when he Googled it, like necktie killer, and then he realized that, like, oh my God, this is the guy. His reaction was hysterical. Like,
His
he just nodded to his friend, like, yeah,
his reaction was, "Oh, we gotta go."
yeah, now.
That would have been my reaction too. I would have been
Wow.
like, "Out." Like, listen, I'm not. Listen, I like my life a little too much to be strangled by the necktie killer. It's a
Oh
no
my
for
God,
me.
so
It's
good.
like, don't worry, I'll show myself out. But at least they knew that that was Ben and not Jake. How they didn't know that the first time, I don't know, but now they know that.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
don't know if I think it's Jake or Stefan. Like, I don't know.
I think Jake is Jake.
I love Jake. So if it's Jake,
Mhm.
then I'm more than happy with that. If it's Stefan, then that's fine too. But I'm really
Yeah.
loving Jake. He's just
Mhm.
freer than Stefan. You know, he's very, Brandon's so good, you know, because you can tell the difference between Stefan and Jake. They're like
Right.
totally
Mhm.
different characters, totally different
Mhm.
guys. And I like Jake's blue collar. Bleh.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Sarah Johnson in the chat says, Tony, are those goons driving you as nuts as they drive me with that mess with Ben? Yes. As soon as they walk in, I'm like, what misinformation do you have now? Robin says, there are 3 promos this week. Please play the extended one. Robin, you're going to have to wait until we get to the promo to see which one we play. Let's see. Marlon Wallace, why would the goons be scared? They easily beat up Ben before. This is true. Patrick said, Jake is Jake from State Farm.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh my God. If they played that, I would
That's
have
awesome.
laughed so hard.
Oh.
And then of course, there wasn't much wedding talk this week, was there? Oh yeah. Julie's gonna officiate Ben and Sierra's wedding.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's gotten over the whole Ben thing and is very honored to do that for Sierra. So
And they have save the date flyers.
those flyers were huge. I was like, what the 5x7 is going on with these save the dates? I was like, goodness gracious. But listen, it's too many weddings in Salem. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little worried. Something's about to go down. It's too
Yeah.
many.
It's too many. I don't think I've seen this many before.
Me,
Like going on
no,
at the same time, right?
no.
No, usually
Like,
it's one big one.
Yeah, you know,
or the double one that they had with Paul and Sunny and Abigail and
Abigail and Chad.
Chad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like in my mind, I have to say their real name first before I say their character name.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But yeah. So anyway, that's all with that storyline, right?
Mhm.
Jake,
Yeah.
Gabby, Jake, Ben. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, this was in the conversation with Jake and Gabby. Like he was also kind of confused as to like, if you love me so much, like why would you try to
poison. Yeah.
yeah with the same
Exactly.
thing as Abigail? And it's like, and she explained, she was like, this is what has been done to me. And that's when again I think it's like all clicking for him.
She said, I love you. I would never do anything to hurt you. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
yes. And then he leaned into her. Remember that moment where he leans in across the table? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry that you're going through this. I'm sorry about your kid, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I'm not him. And he left.
Yeah. I just want more people in Salem to say, yes, Gabby has done some terrible things, but if she truly thinks Jake is Stefan, that's the number one person that she loves, she wouldn't hurt him.
Right.
So they just really need to look at that, and they're just totally throwing out the other side. So
Yeah.
I feel for her.
Side note, before we go into the AfterBuzz news, I forgot to show off my shirt. This is a shirt that a fan made us.
Look how
Aw.
look at these three beautiful men. Oh my gosh.
It's the DISHIN Days
Cute.
OGs. And this
Is that like a recent picture or like from
no, this
day?
was the first day of days that we went to, and we took this picture and we posted it, and then a fan, I want to say that it was Issa from France that got us these shirts, I think. But she each got us a shirt from that picture, and James posted a photo of his. I think Mark is looking for his, and then I found mine, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna wear it on the
That's
show.
so cool.
So
I love it.
shout out to Mark J. Freeman, James Law Jr., and me.
And
So,
you.
Yay.
It looks
Yay!
great. It looks
you.
good
Thank
on
you
your
very much.
chest, Tony.
Thank you, oh my chesticles. All right, so now we have a bit of news brought to you by the lovely Tami Goveia.
Aw.
TV
As
News.
always, fans, we just so appreciate you. We appreciate that you tune in every week. It's been a crazy few months, and speaking personally, I look forward to this on Sundays because days for me is an escape. It's a little bit of fantasy. And so we just so appreciate you guys joining the ride with us. We appreciate you making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk. Please be sure, if you're in the chat room right now, press that little thumbs up button and share the news. If you haven't shared our show with your friends and family, please do so. And we thank you and love you. Mwah.
That announcement brought to you by the kind folks here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, let's get into some tidbits. Our first tidbit, I know one of them we already kind of talked about. But this one will be Chad, Abigail, Jack, and Jennifer. This week we saw the tearful goodbye of Abigail and Chad as they go to Florida to help Abigail. I thought everything that and the introduction of the new Thomas. So cute.
Yeah.
The new little boy that
Oh,
plays Thomas.
yes. Super cute.
I mean, listen, like like kudos to Day's casting because the little boy Asher that played him was literally a spitting image of like a young Billy Flynn. And now even this one is like another spitting image, and I'm like, y'all are getting it right. So, and
Yeah.
he was so cute with his like knowing his lines and like when to say stuff, and I was like, look at you, that boy gonna be famous.
And walking in all upset. Oh, yeah. But I do
Mhm.
love how Chad was talking to him saying, you know what? We could go to Harry Potter. We could go to Universal Studios, trying to be
Mhm.
uplifting. And he's like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it was so cute, but it was such a tearful goodbye, and it was cute how the kids wanted Abigail to have like their favorite toys and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it was all cute. What do you guys think of the Abigail Chad exalt?
Well, I loved that moment between Abigail and Jack. I mean, Kate Mansi and Matthew Ashford, that scene between the two of them, where he's telling her how strong she is, and she has to remember, remember when you got that bike and you were going to ride that bike better than anybody else, and she was just crying. I was like, wow. So I
Hmm.
really appreciated that. That was
Yeah.
really lovely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then when Chad and Abigail are walking out, and then you see Jack and Jennifer just watching them leave, and they're breaking
She's
down
just like,
crying.
Hmm.
I know. She's like, that's my baby leaving. And she just, before she
again.
left, Jennifer's like, take care of yourself, get better.
Yeah.
So we want them back on the canvas soon.
Yeah. For sure. I'm just glad she's going to get the help that she needs. Although it just seems like she just needs to be drained of the hallucinogen, but okay. If you got to go, you got
Mhm.
to go.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
I hope that's all it is.
I hope so too. Um we've already talked about Lonnie and Eli. Congrats on the baby, on getting engaged. Um I love this because, I love when they have additional African American characters on days because there's not that many. So I'm happy that they continue to build on Eli and Lonnie, but I
Mhm.
feel
Yeah.
like this is definitely going to be an adventure for them. So I'm looking forward to all that. And speaking of babies, Will and Sunny
Yeah.
Yeah.
picked up their conversation about having another baby, and Marlena, wait, you
Um,
told
yeah, it was Marlena's
it was
reaction.
Marlena,
Will and
yeah.
Marlena were at
Mhm.
the
Yes,
Brady Pub.
at
Yeah.
the Brady
Her
Pub, and she was
reaction
like,
was hysterical. It was
"Yeah."
so cute.
She's like, "Oh." So
She's
yeah,
all happy.
but I'm all for it. Like I think it would be great to show a gay couple adopting or maybe a surrogate kid, like whichever
Mhm.
route they go. And I'm glad that they're having this conversation, and I'm glad that they're showing this, and I'm glad they're whether you think Wilson is boring or whatever. I'm glad that they're still on the canvas as of right now, and that they're having
Totally.
this conversation on the
Yes.
next level of their relationship. So I think it's important. So I
Mhm.
like it.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe they can bring
Love
that pretty little baby back
Was
from
just
April
gonna,
Fool's Day.
yeah, I was just gonna say if they end up adopting a kid, what do you think the
Yeah.
baby's gonna look like? I would love if they adopted that baby. She was so cute.
Now, Amaya Baker says that they are the first Black wedding on Days.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that.
Oh,
When
Um,
that wasn't
um,
Abe and um,
um,
Lexi.
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 They didn't have
Well,
a wedding.
well, someone said actually on screen. Like I don't
Oh,
remember it being on screen. I mean, I remember them being married, but I don't know. Do you remember? This is
I
like a
don't.
James Lott Jr. thing. Like
I know.
maybe he.
I'm now in the chat like James Lott. Oh, I just put James Lott. Marlon Wallace said on his podcast, Freddie talked about their recent sex scenes not being as steamy. I mean, yeah, we mentioned that too. Will and Sonny. It's kind of like we're gonna make love.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
finish. You know what I mean? Like it's not as steamy as.
it's not romantic.
Oh, Jane Austen said they were married off screen. So I guess this will be the first
Wow,
African American
that's
Mm.
shocking.
wedding.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
Wow.
interesting.
Well, I'm even more excited for this wedding.
Well, better
Yeah.
happen.
I yes.
Yep. James Law Jr. said Abe and Lexi didn't have an on-screen wedding. Oh wow.
Wow.
So yeah, we definitely got to talk about that. This is history in the making. Oh my God. I hope for the sake of their wedding, since a year ago it didn't happen. I hope it happens this time.
Me
Like
too.
out of the 4 weddings, let's leave that one alone. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and that was the week of days, right?
That's it.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
it.
that was it. All right, and now it's time for our segments, and we're gonna start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
Okay, so listen, y'all know I always love a good shade fest, and that shade fest came when oh man, so it was when Kate paid a visit to, and we also forgot to talk about this. Kate paid a visit to Hope and Steve, and Hope goes, like, how did you get in? And she's like, well, I knocked, and then I figured I just let myself in. And Hope's like, well, you can let yourself out. And I was just like, oh, I love when 2 women have a little cattiness about them. So Christian Alfonso, Hope, and Lauren Coslow. Kate, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
But speaking of, we forgot to mention that they want to give Steve and Hope a key to the city.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, deem them as heroes because of the whole bomb and all that kind of stuff, and Orpheus and stuff. There's something weird about that.
It's totally weird. Which is like what? Yeah.
You give them a
It's
key to the
something-
whole city.
I don't know.
It's something very off.
I had the same reaction that Steve had. It's like what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little weird. All right, and now it's time for.
Designer days. All right, folks. So this week it's going to Miss Camila Banus in that beautiful. I mean, she's had this dress on for a little bit, but I love it. It's a BCBG dress. It's a leopard print. If you're a podcast listener, you can't get the visual. It's black and white, leopard print with a deep V, little cap sleeves. Camila Banus, as always, whether you're in jail, whether you're waiting to go to jail, whether you're on trial, you look absolutely beautiful, and you get this week's.
And now it's time for...
It's like, aw, my aw song is back. Okay. Well, this was a week full of ahs. It goes to the engaged couples, Eric and Nicole. I know this is the first time, but hopefully this will be the last for me to ask you. And then Nicole saying, we did it, we beat all odds. And then Eli and Lonnie, I love how Eli say, what's going on? I'm getting nervous down here. And then he puts the ring on her finger and he's like, right where it belongs. So you guys get my aw moment of the week. It's like, aw.
And of course, our caption that will be back once Michael Mattis returns to the show.
DISHIN Days.
We just retweeted Me World's Oh Shiz Moment of the Week. So make sure you check that out. Me World puts a lot of effort into the video. So go check it out. We just retweeted it. Thanks, Me World, for your Oh Shiz Moment of the Week. And now it's time for some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so for our news and gossip this week, be sure to join Eric Maltzoff and Paul Tefler today on their Zoom party, Salem Style, from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. 16 lucky fans will be able to join the party. The cost is $75, and some of the portions goes towards cancer patients. And then also, Sin, Victoria Konefal, and Robert Scott Wilson will be joining Eric Martzoff on another Zoom party on June 11th, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Coast Time. Come join the party. Cost will be $75 per person, and 16 fans can join. And then don't forget about our DISHIN Days Quintennial happening October 10th in the Los Angeles Burbank Marriott Hotel. And who will be joining us will be Brock Kelly, Billy Flynn, Kate Mancy, Stacey Hydu, Kara Martzoff, Jen Lilly, Scott Shillstone, and Paul Telfer. And I don't know if you guys know this, but fun fact, according to Soap Opera Digest, a major story plot that was happening during this time was Marlena's exorcism in 1995. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And then happy birthday to Billy Flynn. It was his birthday on May 29th, so we hope you had a good one.
Yay.
And
go ahead.
Oh yeah, and then
Keep
that's
going.
it for news.
Okay. Just to go back, if you guys are interested in the Zoom meetings that are happening, go to Facebook and go to Star Image Entertainment, where you can find information on how to purchase tickets. That's Star Image Entertainment on Facebook if you want to purchase tickets for the Dave's Cocktail Zoom party with Eric Martzoff, Robert Scott Wilson, and Victoria Konefal. Also, if you want to come and to our event in October, it's SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com. That's SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com for tickets and more information. So, all right. And now the time that I think, well, everyone's kind of been waiting for, but they've already seen it, but we're gonna watch it together. It's time to find out what's coming up this summer on your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Roll that beautiful summer promo. Oh, who that? Oh.
Oh.
Oh, snap. Oh.
So is Lucas.
Ryan, they said there was no sound.
I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I thought maybe you guys could hear, but I didn't hear it on my end.
Here, let's try. I'm gonna try rolling it one more time.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
Do this again because we got to have the sound.
Sorry about that.
I want to hear that cake in somebody's face.
Oh, here we go. I got it now. Sorry about that, y'all.
No
Oh
problem.
my God, wait to see it.
Summer promo, take 2.
Summer promo. Take 2. Just opening it up once more. Da-da-da-da. There we go. And just putting it up on the full screen.
Okay. We're waiting in anticipation.
Alrighty, y'all. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Summer promo, take 2.
Take 2.
4 must-see weddings,
I'm about to marry the love of my life.
new stories,
We are having a baby.
and all new episodes all summer long.
Welcome home, son.
Thanks, Dad.
Days of Our
Wow.
Lives, NBC weekdays.
Okay, that was that one. Where's that longer one at? Ryan, can you
Oh,
hear
the
me?
longer one. Gotcha. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. This is
It's okay.
it's a little flip
Listen.
on our part.
Our show has so many bells and whistles, you just got to go with it. This is live TV, y'all. So that was the shorter version that
Yeah.
Robin earlier was like, she didn't want to see that one. She wanted to see the
No.
long one. So we going to queue up the long one and have sound with that. All right. Okay, cool.
There's
So-
so much going on this summer. Oh my God.
I am thoroughly excited about J. Kenneth Johnson coming back as Philip. He is
Right?
He is my favorite Philip.
Yes.
Like, no, this is no shade to Kyle Brandt or Jean Paul, but J. Kenneth Johnson was always my favorite Philip.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I think it's because that's the one I originated with. Like, for instance, Krista Allen is my Billy because when I started watching Days of Our Lives, she was Billy. So like,
Got
that's my Billy. So yeah, I'm here
It
for
gives
it.
you the feels. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so now let's watch the full one with sound again. Summer promo, Days of Our Lives, take 3.
This summer, Days of Our Lives is your hotspot for all new episodes, all summer long.
I'm ready to come home.
Claire will be staying here with us.
Yes.
New stories,
Get your nasty paws off my husband.
Okay.
And I'm scared. Do you want to adopt my baby?
I'm getting married today.
4 must-see weddings,
I'm about to marry the love of my life.
What could possibly go wrong?
and
Oh, my son.
the family reunions
Welcome home, son.
Thanks, Dad.
you've been waiting for.
Philip.
You look so good.
What?
All new Days of Our Lives, all
Oh
summer
my
long.
God. So many familiar faces back on the
So many.
canvas. Oh my
So
God.
It's all over
many.
the place.
I-
All over the place.
Wow.
I'm loving all of it. I'm glad Lucas is back, and Lucas looks like he's about to get a catch up of everything that's went down. before.
Right.
Now, for those who are like, who's the girl with the? Allegedly, that's Allie Horton. So that's Sammy's daughter. Sammy and Lucas's daughter.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's her. But like,
Okay.
who the daddy? Like, she just gonna pop up in Salem with
Yeah.
a baby? Who the daddy? Why does everybody come to Salem and not know who the daddy is?
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we.
Oh gosh. And
well, let me-
Olivia. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
So
super
glad
excited.
she's
Like everyone needs to tell everyone to watch Days this summer because Days
Yes.
is it's the only soap opera with new episodes. Y'all better tune in. Summer's about to be hot. I said that real
Yes.
loud.
That's so good. That's so good. It's so good. I'm very pleased.
All right.
Ron, you have pleased us.
Yes. So kudos to that. Summer is going to be everything. And that is it. That has been our show.
guys.
Side note, the girl with Jake kinda looks like Gabby. A little bit. Just a little bit. A little bit.
Similarities.
A little bit. Just a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. All right. So that's it. That has been our full recap right here on Dishin Days. But before we head out, oh, sorry, y'all. Yeah, we have no guests today. So no quarantine check-ins today. We actually, I feel like we've done quite a few quarantine check-ins like over the past few weeks. I think this is the first one we haven't done in quite some time. So hopefully we'll be back soon with some more of your days folks to check in with. But before we head out, Tami Goveia, let the kind folks know where they can find you on the social medias.
On the socials, Twitter at Tami Goveia and Insta Tami.Goveia.
Chelsie Overocker.
And then you could find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overocker and on Twitter at Chelsie Overocker.
And of course, you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounger with Tony. And you can find Dishin Days on Facebook and Instagram, which is Dishin Days, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. We will see you guys next week for another full recap of your favorite Emmy Award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives, where you just saw the summer is about to get steamy. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Have a safe and wonderful Sunday and a beautiful week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.